Let's smoke a super trimmed beef brisket. So what you got in front of you here is a super trimmed beef brisket. The very first step I take is the day before I plan to smoke the brisket, I go ahead and I marinate it and I let it sit overnight in my refrigerator. For this, you're gonna need some type of container to hold your brisket after you season it. Your favorite seasoning, mine just happens to be Rudy's Rub, and some foil paper. A lot of the products that you see here, you will see a link on the description below if you guys are interested. Go ahead and check them out. I'm gonna dry it a little bit. I always like to start with my fat cap. Go ahead and flip it around. Start off with your edges here. Get it in all the crevasses. Bring it up, get the edge here. And then you want to get, this is where you want to really focus on with your seasoning, because this is where the seasoning hits the meat. This is where a lot of your flavor is going to come at the end. The next thing you want to do here is you want to go ahead and cover your brisket. We're gonna go ahead and let this baby rest overnight in the refrigerator. By leaving it overnight, you're allowing as much of the seasoning to penetrate the brisket before you start to smoke it. All right, so welcome back. 24 hours later, this baby's ready to get smoked. I did put it fat side down, and my heat source is coming this way, so I put the round part or the point on this end. I want my lean part over here to stay away, far as away from the heat as possible. I'm gonna be smoking this at 240 degrees, and I'm looking for an internal temperature on my brisket of about 200 degrees. Once that happens, we can pull it out and wrap it. But for now, all you do is you sit and wait. One of the things I did to make my life a little bit easier is I bought myself that Thermoworks Billows fan over here that you see, and this Signal series. If you're interested in that, I'll go ahead and I'll put a link on top so you guys can go to that. It makes your life a lot easier. And if you go to their website and use my promo code, the Smoking Beard, you'll get 20% off your purchases. But makes my life that much easier, allows me to sleep well at night while this baby is going strong. We're 12 hours in. Our internal temp is about 183. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have so far. You typically have 3 ways of finishing off a brisket. You can either leave it as is, wrap it in butcher paper, or wrap it in foil. Just so you know, if you leave it as is, you're gonna have the tougher bark and with the most smoky flavor to it. If you wrap it in butcher paper, you're gonna have not as much of a barky brisket and a pretty decent smoke flavor. And if you wrap it in foil, you'll have the least amount of bark, less amount of smoky flavor. So the brisket hit 200 degrees internal temp. The next thing you want to do here is you want to go ahead and wrap it in foil, let it rest for a couple of hours in a cooler. Once it's in there, go ahead and close it. Give it a couple of hours. Don't skip this step. This is a step where it lets the meat rest, bring some of those juices back to the center, and makes it that much more tender. Now it's time to slice up the brisket. This has been in my cooler for about 2 hours resting. What you want to look for here is all briskets have the grain where the meat fibers go. You always want to cut against it. Here it's telling me that the grains are coming this way, so I am going to cut against the grain. Right, let's see what this baby pulls out.